Clock's not still. I'm gonna have to try. Let's see. All right, OBS again. That's not right. Scaling? I think it was. Go. Oh, it does. Pardon? Where is it going? Why can't I see it? I put it on 500. It feel better? Oh. 750 took it all. Oh, good. I think we've got, yeah, new blur filter. So it doesn't matter what you put in there now, you can't see it. All right. I know we're early. I know I'm early. I know I'm just getting myself. All right. So, what's going on in the news today? By the way, good morning, everybody. What is going on in the news? Find out. Out of debt. That's in bed. That's good news. Said this before. The word. All right. Let's. Hey, everybody's waking up. All right. So what's going on with the war within? What is going on with the war? Be good with that. Yep.
Hello there.
Hey, Rio. trying to figure out what's going on.
And anxiety has been looming over World of Warcraft for quite some time, and if you've been around with me since, say, Battle for Azeroth, you'll know this is something that I kind of deeply care about, and it's captured in this pretty simple question. Does the War Within recapture the Warcraft essence? And you think that with Chris Metzen back at the helm, that's very much the unspoken promise. The World Soul Saga is aiming to be quintessential Warcraft. It's supposed to bring back what we've been missing, and the question is, has it delivered? Well, I'm happy to bring you answers today. After a full story playthrough on beta, I can say yes, sort of, asterisks. It's complicated. In some ways, it's the best campaign in years. In others, it is clearly a Dragonflight follow-up with the pros and the cons you'd expect. And for the first time, it feels somewhat constrained by being part of a larger story. What I'll say, though, is the big picture, we're feeling quite good.
Okay, so I didn't play the rest of Dragonflight, so I wouldn't know what's happening. But I will say this, as long as World of Warcraft succeeds, this is a weird saying, as World of Warcraft succeeds, Final Fantasy. It's weird relationship. It's a weird thing to say, but that's the truth. I'm glad that people are enjoying it. Kind of makes me wonder about it myself and jump back in and see if there's if it's fighting for any newer players. That's kind of what I want to know, is what not the War with. Maybe he talks about it.
This is a zero spoiler video, don't worry about that. And to make up for the noble sacrifice of the multiple beta characters that were bricked and killed in the making of this video, here's today's sponsor. Returning sponsor Ugreen. They're awesome, and this is awesome. So here's the deal. This packs away like a cube, and in its normal cube form, you're getting a 15-watt Qi 2 certified wireless charger. You have an extra USB-C out on the side, but here's the trick. It, of course, folds out. Now, you have MagSafe for your phone, which will be held snug with 18 N52 magnets, which is lovely for the iOS nightstand mode, by the way. And underneath, well, here, you've got a wireless charging pad, perfectly shaped for your earbuds, so if you've got your AirPods, snap them there, and that's what I do. And hell, I even use this as a tripod in a pinch when I was recording WoW News, when it broke while I was traveling a few weeks ago. Now, of course, this is armed with overcharge, overcurrent, overheat, and short circuit protection so that it's safe, and like with all of my Ugreen gear, it is damn well built. And look, for me, I like it when those just mundane things you do every day of your life, like charging your devices, are just made excellent. This is a brilliant solution. It lives on my bedside table, it goes into my bag for traveling, it lives at my desk. It's fantastic. You can check it out at the link down below. Again, thanks to Ugreen for sponsoring, and of course for charging all of my devices for the last few years.
I'm not going to skip his thing.
There's a problem, though. What the hell is Warcraft? It's existed for a long time, and that means if you ask 10 people, you'll probably get 10 answers. But there will be common themes. And
what is Warcraft? Well, I could tell you that. It's a very easy question to answer. Warcraft is a very long-standing series where it was great for 10 years, then it was amazing for another 5, and then for the last few decades it hasn't been. That's the answer. I only say that because my new player experience was not the best. I really did try to go into I really did, and I can tell you for one thing, I started in Shadowlands. Big freaking warning, don't start in Shadowlands. Don't do it. You don't want to start in Shadowlands. I will say this now. I don't know whether, like, what you guys think about Shadowlands, but it was not the best first time experience. That's what I think.
A big one, and the hint is it's in the name: war. Even in peacetime, there has always been an enemy to fight. The offensive against the Scourge and Wrath of the Lich King, our clashes with the Zandalari, the Mogu, Garrosh in Mists, even the whole setup for vanilla. It wasn't a time of overt war, but it was a time of tension. And of course, most notably, desperately holding back the Legion invasion when things got truly... I mean, honestly, I don't say the word epic lightly, but I do think that Big Space Satan, the size of a planet arriving at your planet and stabbing it, That absolutely fits the definition of epic, and that is what Warcraft is. So, with that in mind, does the War Within pass muster? I'm very happy to say the answer is it nails it from the start. Xal'atath and Harubians, they're not just a looming threat, they're actively at war. Throughout the campaign, they're ever present. They're sometimes very directly in your face, sometimes scheming in the shadows. And I'm going to walk you through how that feels, of course, in a way that is non-spoiler for zone content. The first zone, right, is usually a gentle introduction, but not this time. Immediately, all hell breaks loose. Blizzard have publicly announced what happens, but we don't literally know. Dalaran is somehow destroyed, and people seem to think that we've lost Khadgar. It's not confirmed, and Blizzard have very purposefully held that info back. That is something for us to experience in the pre-patch. But from beta, as soon as you are there, shit has went down. The ruined city of Dalaran crashes into the Isle of Dorne, right into a Nerubian ambush, and from there it's non-stop action. Every breath we take, the Nerubians attack. I mean, remember the Jade Forest where things just kept on getting worse? It's like that, but cranked up to 11. They feel like an active foe. And so on the Isle of Dorne, after a lot of triage and fighting from the back foot, we reach our next zone.
So Giant Space Satan. What's his name? Forgetting his name, but like, isn't he like also a victim in all this? Maybe I'm wrong, but from what I could tell, he was like still being like tricked in his own little way. He was still being tricked. Come back here. What are you doing? That's why I have to ask the question. Like, if my man's is also being in all this, then it's like, ooh, I got lucky. How much power? More power?
Zone, the Ringing Deeps, and it's far less an everything's on fire zone, but it's far more of a, oh god, we're too late. We're actually dealing with the aftermath of things, but in a way that is refreshingly new. It is well done. But after that comes Hallowfall, and that is our best zone. And of course, our welcome to that zone is, you probably guessed it, another desperate defense against Nerubian forces. Now, by this point, you're probably thinking that'll get old, right? Everywhere you go, oh, it's a bunch of Nerubians, go kill them. But surprisingly, this time, it doesn't, and that's testament to how well they've set it up. Even when we catch a breather, we find the place crawling with hidden enemies that keep us on our toes, and it all leads to a cathartic
So it just starts out strong,
It works well. The final zone, then, of Azj-Kahet, it slows the pace, but it still opens with a bang. We're crawling our way through Nerubians at every turn, and after that, there's a bit of a calm before the storm. Everything so far, despite being relentless,
the tank is a little
feels
confused
like
there.
a warm-up. That's what you feel like when you finish the level up campaign and you're at max level. The real war is clearly still to come. Now, I don't want to give you spoilers here, so forgive the lack of plot details, but what I want to do here is capture the feeling of it. So let's do that. To sum up the events, they're enjoyable. This is a world at war, and it feels that way. We're not traipsing around an idyllic place dealing with a few local baddies. No, we have an enemy who is out for us and who actively tries to, in the narrative, thwart our plans. And it's always good whenever your characters, or especially your opponents, feel like they are active against you. That really works. But there are some gaps, so let's talk about where it falls short. And the answer is pretty simple. It is pacing and particulars. That means the dialogue's tone. Of course, in the beta, it sucks that not all the music is there. I understand why, but it would be way better with the music. And then the fact that
now I'm on like a 30-second timer. This ain't good.
Rapid fire. And sometimes that means we don't fully absorb the impact. Now, there's good news there. Look, if you tried to play Shadowbringers after all the hype, but you ended up just not really enjoying a more visual novel-driven sort of game, you're probably going to be way happier here because, yeah, it's brisk. And I have a criticism that it's maybe a little too brisk and it doesn't settle in those moments. But if you want a big adventure, lots of threats, different locales, lots of actions, meeting new people, you'll absolutely get that in a way that feels better, I think, than, well, potentially Legion, but certainly anything after Legion. Still, my main criticism is we have defeats, we have victories, and I just wish they were able to hold in those a little bit longer. Because if you do engage in a few of the stay a while and listens, and you try to really pick up all of what's there, you actually find it's great. I mean, there's been times where I've looked in our work chat and I've seen Matt doing, a little report to us from the beta, and he'll say, I cannot believe they put this behind a stay a while and listen. This is some of the best narrative content that they've done. So, what I would say is, the pacing, a little bit of a problem. However, definitely do those stay a while listens because they really work for these characters. Now, don't get me wrong, there are consequences, characters change, the environment shifts, but these things sometimes develop slowly, and often where you'd really like, right after a big event, the game to just slow down for a bit and to have some character dialogue, that doesn't always happen, and sometimes that is left to later dialogues and later quests. So it's not perfect, but to answer the first question of this video, identifying that war, having engaging conflict that feels meaningful, that's a core part of the Warcraft setting, does it succeed? And I would say it doesn't get full marks, but it does mostly succeed. And it very much looks like this focus will only intensify. Right then, the next big thing is, of course, heroes and complex villains, right? The likes of Varian, Arthas, Illidan, Grom, they're doing bad things. They're still the heroes of their own stories, and usually it's a bit of pain, bit of trauma that leads them to do the sorts of things.
Whatever happened to Illidan? My question. Like, I really want to know what happens to Illidan. Out of all the things. Does anybody know what happens to Illidan? Does he stay like the warden of the big god guy? Is that what's happening? It just seems like he just disappeared and just never came back. Like he finally found the prey that he wants to hunt forever. And he stayed there. I don't know why. I don't use soul so on a
that they do. It's simple, it's archetypical, it's perhaps fundamental, and that's why it does have a broad appeal, and it's why whenever Blizzard decides to just turn the volume knob up to 11 in a really big cinematic, it ends up just being really goddamn cool. And some snob might say, oh, you gamers, look at that very simplistic story, you've seen that before. But the point is, they're executed well, and they're actually fun and entertaining. Maybe for some people, a little bit inspiring. So let's talk about how this expansion handles that. Basically, I'd say heroism takes a different shape. I think that very big, larger-than-life heroism is going to come in the future. We'll talk about that later. Here, it's a bit less about grand speeches and epic battles. It is more about courage to make change or to push for change. Take Belgrim, right? He's this by-the-book earthen. Ultimately, he ends up acknowledging his flaws, inspiring others. And when I say it like that, it obviously doesn't do it justice. My point here is it's actually well executed in-game, and, you know, the voicing,
kind of moving around too much.
Take a character like Moira. She arrives at the run-down ringing deeps, where everything's just gone wrong, and lights a fire under the demoralized people there. It works really well. Our familiar heroes are in an interesting position. They are, I think, very much set up to do big things later. That's not to say that we don't have screen time with them. No, there is screen time. They're gearing up, they're getting ready, but they are struggling. Take Anduin. He still has a lot of that self-doubt. And the great thing is that rather than have him process his self-doubt in a book and then just magically come back in an expansion in a way that feels disconnected, that's actually happening on screen. One of WoW's biggest problems is a lot of character motivations were just in books.
Yeah, another one.
We're doing a way better job of actually having that be in the game. Take Illyria. After all the things that happened in the Darkheart patch, quite obviously, and, well, you know, Dalaran, boom, she's angry. She's making poor choices throughout the campaign because she's angry. It sets up a really strong, compelling arc for her. And then there's Thrall, who's there. So far, he's got the Bane treatment. You know, Bane in the Shadowlands, just having a wee seat. That bit's kind of weak, I'd say. Honestly, it is a bit of a disappointment. Now, the villain front. Xal'atath is intriguing. I think she works, and she is well designed to be more of a background threat who operates by pulling the strings from the shadows. What's great, though, is the other villains of Zones actually feel pretty damn good in-game. There's one group, say, the Order of the Night, right? They're set up to be the villainous counterparts to Theron's Lamplighters. And they don't feel like Team Rocket or something. No, they have got solid, well-explained, thought-out motivations that actually work. But there is a catch. They don't get enough screen time in the main campaign to actually shine as threats or compelling characters. And big picture, that's the sort of thing that is holding them back. I would be very happy for them to feel comfortable having a slower-paced experience, but I do think that through playtesting and stuff, they've just learned that brisk is what works with Warcraft. And perhaps it'll be the case that in the future when we go to, say, the Midnight expansion, where we've had loads of character development in War Within, and we're going to Midnight, and that's set in Kul'Thalas, maybe they will be able to take a little bit more time there. I wish they did take more time here. The big picture, it's certainly not a deal breaker. And I suppose the double meaning in the War Within very much suggests that the real heroics are yet to come. Anduin is fighting his own little war within, What's he going to be like when he's progressed through that fight? For now, we are mostly setting the stage. I'm happy to say that it is a stage well set. The side quests available flesh out the world well, and the main campaign is a big step forward, albeit hindered by length. With that said, third pillar of Warcraft. This is a cheesy one. It's a simple one. Epicness. The big, larger-than-life moments. Perhaps think of Tyrion's speech before Icecrown, his final blessing at the peak, Garrosh's one-on-one with Taran Zu, about half the Warlords of Draenor campaign, the Warlords of Draenor.
The other question is, I have to ask, did people really hate Mr. Panda? Say it was Panda expansion. People really hate that? It's really that bad? Because I'm finding more and more people are saying, I kind of liked it. Because I heard about the Garrosh was really set to being like the big bad guy in that one. So he was doing all of it for the Horde. Like, all of it for the Horde. It's impressive that Garrosh, dang it, on this, Garrosh himself was happening. This tank is so confused. This tank is so confused.
Draenor cinematic, probably Illidan doing his whole I am my scars moment. Big moments like that. How does War Within stack up? And the answer is a little bit complicated because of beta. So, cutscenes then. They do have some strong moments, but there is a catch.
Epic moment.
We cannot see them yet. We know what happens in them in most cases because we basically get Star Wars style scrolling text explaining things. A beta is beta, and I'm very glad that they don't have the cinematics on beta. I would far rather see these things when the War Within is live. What I will say is that there is potential. With the right music, animation, and voice work, all things that we know they can do well, they do actually have a few contenders for proper big, epic moments throughout this campaign. But to temper expectations, nothing we've seen so far comes close to, as an example, the Ganar finale at the end of Frostfire Ridge in Warlords of Draenor. Here's the thing, though. Just like we're waiting for our heroes to be heroes, we're mostly on the back foot here. We're not problem-solving, we're not conquering. No, we're finding our footing. So the truly massive, memorable stuff, that is likely coming once this early story has laid down the groundwork. Take, as an example, the first part of the campaign, right? Pretty crazy. I didn't expect it. We're literally preparing the Alliance and Horde armies for war. So with that sort of thing going, you can bet that the patches are going to come in swinging. Let's then talk about something more subtle but crucial. Warcraft's knack for introducing new peoples and cultures. Think back, right? The starting zones in vanilla, the outcasts of Shattrath, Northrend's various rep races, the Pandaren, even the Elf Ghosts and the Drain Dragons of Azuna, or the Nightborn of Suramar. The Sathrak in BFA, they had barely any screen time, but people really want more of them. So, in that...
Not like BFA? Or am I... Wasn't BFA like the game people got bored with like really fast? Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. All I know is that I heard a lot about people not having the best time in BFA. And okay, what?
Assets. How does this expansion measure up? And in a word, really goddamn impressively, this is where they shine. I'll start with the Arathi of Hallowfall. Basically, my review of those is some of the best world building that Warcraft has done in years. Now, don't sleep in the Earthen and the Rubians, they're actually fantastic as well, but seriously, the Arathi are exciting in a way that makes you genuinely want to see what comes next. Take the Earthen, they were a surprise. By campaign's end, kind of, you grow to love them, right? They're not just one group, they're three. There's the Oathsworn, Unbound, and Machine Speakers. Each have got their own flavor. Well thought out, actually. It's really strong work. Take the Nerubians then. They have this massive city that gives off Suramar vibes. It's also not a black and white thing.
What? Oh
They're
my
not
God,
just the
I
evil
did it
spider
again.
people. No, we see a full-blown empire. There are sub-factions, individual motivations. The right words or items can shift allegiances.
It did it again.
Great. They could so easily have just been Salatath's throwaway spider soldiers, but you can tell the genuine effort was put in here to actually make them good. Now, the crown jewel is the Arathi. And it's not just Farron and her Lamplighters, it's the entire tone of their people.
I think they should really fix its
You see, there's a
teleportation.
tension between the Lamplighters and the military faction. You
Somehow
can
I
really
got
feel it. It's basically
pushed
like a
that way
ticking
into the
time bomb
spikes.
that is waiting to explode once survival is no longer their shared priority. And as a group, as an expedition, they're all in this sort of suicidal mission decreed by their emperor, but not everybody, like, buys the emperor's vision. As an example, when you read between the lines and you really start to think, some of their language hints at this Grand Emperor of the Holy Empire maybe not being like his shiny facade would suggest. I think there's tension coming there. But then it's just like the details, how they pray, how they react to success and failure. They're well defined as a different culture that branched off from us ages ago and then developed in their own way. It's fantastic, top-notch work. Of course, there's the question, where may the story take us? Could they be in Midnight or perhaps beyond? I don't know. They have a big continent the other side of the world. That's all we know right now. And from experiencing this slice of their culture in this expansion, for the first time in a while, I'm genuinely excited to find out what's going on. So is this a pure perfect return to form for the tone of Warcraft? The answer is, in some ways yes, and in some ways it's different. It is definitely bringing back some classic Warcraft elements, that's very welcome, but make no mistake, it is still crafted by the same team who have been shaping our game since the Legion expansion. Is it the best of both worlds? Not quite. It is very much Dragonflight-esque in some ways. Some of the gung-ho, blood and honor stuff won't be as prominent as some people will like. Instead, we do spend a bit more time exploring why sad people are sad, rather than purely showcasing their capability for courage and resolve. But I do think that old Warcraft didn't do that sort of thing enough, and that there is a good sense of threat from the enemies here, and that the characters are well established. That actually makes me think they will be able to pay these things off quite satisfyingly.
That woman has one arm.
The next thing then is structure. Okay, each zone campaign clocks in at about 2 hours, and that is just not enough time to tell a full story. Some segments feel rushed, some plot questions get brushed over. It is the classic MMO struggle, too much to do, too little time. Like with recent campaigns, it does not flow to a satisfying end. You finish up in Ashkahet and you hit a bit of a wall. Even after a few more hours of the max level campaign, you are waiting for the patch to release to really make good on all of it. But that being said, there are 1 or 2 final chapters to that campaign that are not in beta, so I've got to imagine that those will be setting up the contents of 11.0.5 or maybe 11.0.7. So yes, there are problems, but big picture, this is really, really good news, refreshingly so. This is likely the best campaign we've had since Legion. It is more substantial than Battle for Azeroth. It does not feel like the last...
I think I get it. I mean, the point is that glad they finally touched up on the story. Like, I think that was like the biggest thing. The fact that the story wasn't getting a lot of attention. Just start out the camp, this new, like, yep, Dalaran fell. Dalaran blew up. That's something that I've been kind of looking, seeing, like the story of major question is whether or not jump into the game. I wonder if they're not address that. Address the fact that it needs to, I don't know, it needs a little attention to be able to, that's the case there. Otherwise we're gonna find more of the same thing. Like, I will admit, Legion was fun. I didn't get to experience Legion. Yeah. The big problem with World of Warcraft is that expansion comes that new off down there on the low res blur for let me see. don't think I'm gonna. Yeah, that's just gonna have to do. All right. You. So, well, I'm glad people. I'm glad. I'm glad people are like. A strat. That cat. Let's. Step one. Cardinals safe. Okay. It's not even staying for me. Oh, so are we baiting? Are we baiting? That, right? Is this for melee? It's definitely. That's what it looked. Alright, sorry. 1 second. It messed up by say. Should be. So it should. Okay. Ah. Oh. I think I fixed it. Ugh. Sorry. Some stream cord. See, M1. Oh, that's a guide. No, let me take a look at the. What?
Okay, let's go, guys. Full focus. One shot, in and out. Let's go. DPS in.
Oh, so it's coordinated?
How many times do I need to hit my pot, man?
Ports in.
Jesus Christ.
Enter. Buster.
Whoa. That's okay. That's fun. That was
How many times do I need to hit my pot, man?
Oh, that's all.
Jesus Christ.
Does that hit?
Jesus. Pot, man.
Ports in.
It doesn't look like it even hits.
Jesus. Pot,
Is she setting-
man.
Ports in.
Times
Is she
do I
setting
need
that
to
up?
hit
Wait, what?
My pot, man.
Okay.
Ports in.
Jesus Christ.
Enter. Buster.
Buster on.
God forbid I'm able to double weave with 130 ping.
Wait.
God forbid God forbid I'm able to double weave with 130 ping.
Left, right.
Okay, so the tanks stay together. Okay. That looks easy enough.
Right. Left after.
Oh, what is happening?
We forgot to mark ourselves, by the way.
If someone could do tanks,
I will mark myself.
Okay.
I can probably mark the tanks.
What?
Wait, at this, it's gonna be
How?
group.
How do you even tell?
I can probably
In what?
mark the tanks.
In what
Wait, at
way?
this, it's gonna be groups, light parties.
I'm not lost. I'm just seeing this for what it is. What the heck am I looking at? Let me take that from the beginning.
How many times do I need to hit my pot, man?
Ports in.
Jesus Christ.
Enter.
What am I looking at here? The beginning.
How many times do I need to hit my pot, man?
So. You anyway.
Man?
Ports in.
Jesus
Are they not getting?
Christ.
Enter. Buster.
God forbid I'm able to double weave with 130 ping. God forbid I'm able to double weave with 130 ping.
Get out of here.
Left, right. Right. Left after.
Wait, why was that so delayed?
We forgot to mark ourselves, by the way.
If someone can do tanks,
I will mark myself.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how this works. Because, yeah, like, look at this.
Probably more.
Oh, okay, I see. Right, okay. Okay, they're doing the same attack. One there, she's looking down here. I get it. All right, that makes sense. Okay. Hey, what's up? What's up, Prism? Just checking out the M1 fight, getting a sneaky little sneak. Trying to figure out like the first few mechanics here. See. Edit. Okay. So what she does here.
Sir?
So it's gonna be her right then left, or her left then right, right? So left then right, and she does that with her
someone can do
clones that
I
does
will mark myself.
left then right. And because it's formatted that way, so it's left,
Wait,
and then on her right, it's gonna be wham, just like that. Okay, yeah, I get it. Got it. I was like, hey, how does that work? What I'm confused about is this. Like, in the beginning. Not the potions.
My spot, man.
Yeah, potions are weird.
Jesus. Right. Spot, man.
Is she setting up for that? Or are you actually getting hit by that? And it looks like no.
Spot, man.
Ports N.
Jesus.
But like,
My
what is going on
man.
here?
Ports N.
Jesus. Spot, man.
Ports N.
Oh, well, support. Because he was like support.
My spot, man.
Like the beginning is a little weird because it's like, are they don't look like they're getting hit because their health. I don't. Their health is. Oh no, they're getting hit. Never mind.
Do I need to hit?
So. Okay, so they are getting hit with that one.
Spot, man.
But it looks like that's something as you're supposed to get hit in proximity to the so everybody tanks those hits and then they just start avoiding those hits. that looks easy enough. That looks easy enough.
Man.
Because it looks like
Times do I need to hit? My
damage goes
spot,
in,
man.
Ports N.
support's in,
Jesus. Right.
back out,
Enter.
back to the right or left.
Buster.
That's easy enough. That right there is the confusing part. It looks like it's a double tank buster. Which is the reason why Xeno is just like, nope,
God forbid I'm able to double weave with
not moving from this
130
chair. Xeno was not moving from the. Let's put on like 4 different buffs here.
God.
When I play, I always keep everybody else's animations on, but that's only because I want to see and verify. To do that is to see their ability. But that's just me.
God forbid I'm able to double weave with 130 ping.
I don't even see his ping. Oh, he already knows.
Left, right.
That too. I keep it on because I am enjoying the post ending probably better than Walker right now. I'm liking it. It helps that I found a group to do content like. It also helps that I want to say that what Yoshi planning seems to be more positive, like the average rating. See how that works. No, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I think a lot. There is some divisiveness of the story. I have my own opinion. All gathering now. Neat. All right, I'll be right there. I just need to figure.
God,
It looks like it's a double tank buster. It
God
looks like the
forbid
main
I'm
tank
able
is
to
going to get
double
hit.
weave.
Did he step back to get back in?
God
He
forbid
got
I'm
hit.
able to double weave with 130
He's getting hit
ping.
with the other tank, so I'm guessing it's a double. All right, well. We go to the bathroom and I'll head up and my group. I will be putting up a little sign saying that we are in a meeting, so we will be muted for a little bit. Enjoy the music. It is from City Planner Plays. City Planner Plays is he's a city builder YouTuber. Like him, he's my favorite. He made his own soundtrack. It's pretty good. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and then I'm just gonna head up into that. All right. All right, so about to throw on the big old. We're in a meeting. Enjoy the music and the shenanigans you'll probably see in the background. You'll probably see it in the black background, but that's. Oh. Give me 1 second. Hey everybody that's sitting there in the stream. Yeah, we're discussing stuff. Enjoy the music. Enjoy the actual shenanigans that might be going on in the background there. But don't worry, the action will. Right now, I'm also seeing if I can upgrade my gear as well. But
two types of these.
I use those. Not
Well,
the other
I don't know what.
ones.
When you say those, I don't know which one you mean.
All I see is just markers dancing.
I use these.
Okay, I'm moving on this one.
I use those.
Yeah, these ones are good.
The 1, 2, 3, and 4 are for the copycats.
Had it all squared around.
Yeah.
This is for the copycats, for the tanks. Gotta drag them to where the clones go. So it does 2 sets of clones.
Dang it, my portrait.
One set of clones is where the healers gotta go north and south, where it does a laser beam
no,
attack.
not your portrait.
And the other one is where you gotta do clock spots. Where it does a
So this
wind
one,
attack.
you only have to worry
3
about
times.
light parties, I think it was, right? And then getting launched onto the pads.
No, like parties and partners.
Oh, there is
'cause-
partners, okay. I don't remember the partners.
Yeah, because
part then.
she can do quadruple swipes, so she hits 4 people, and then you need to swap
Right.
with the partner or you die. Remember the bit that I was ranting about with the bard? We have to do that. That's in this fight.
Oh.
You rant about bards a lot. It's hard.
Oh, you're
for me
talking
to
about the
remember
part
everything.
where
So-
they kept breaking the floor?
So it took. Wow.
No, they did keep breaking the floor, but that happens after they kill
It was the other part.